Hello, right, so we are going to start with our third session on mindfulness, okay? And today we are going to look at taming the animal mind. So if we try to remember last time, what we learned is that our mind can be compared to an animal. And the animal I talked about last time was a puppy, a little dog. And we were talking about what attitude should we have towards our mind. And it is an attitude of kindness, but firm at the same time, and patient, and then repetition. So being aware that our mind's going to wander and it's not going to listen, and we need to be patient and firm and kind and repeat, come back here. Like you would say to a little puppy that you're training to come to see you and to heal. You need to be patient, you need to repeat, you need to be kind. So that's the attitude we need to have. So we're going to continue today with the analogy of our mind is a bit like an animal because it's wild. And we're going to look at a little bit more closely at emotions today. Okay, so the first bit, before we go to the analogy of animals, okay, we're going to look at the different type of emotions that we might be feeling on a daily basis, okay? So these example of primary emotions, okay, so despair, and boredom, and surprise, and anger, and joy or happiness, sadness, or being intrigued, curious, so these type of emotions, we will feel them when there's something amazing happen, which is positive or negative, okay? But we usually feel them every day. Even if we have a very ordinary day, we will feel those emotions all the time. We are emotional creatures. And therefore, we go through all those feelings and sensation every day. And it's not bad and it's not good. That's not the issue. The issue is not to be controlled by them and being slave of our emotions, being reactive all the time, and not having time to think before we act. And that's crucial. And if we rule by emotion, whether they're positive emotions or negative emotions, we are very reactive. It could be good reaction or bad reactions, but we don't have time to think. And that's what is important to do, okay? So because it gives us a choice, it gives us time to think about actually what we want to do and not just how we feel. So, as I was saying, our minds, the mind seems to have a wild and uncontrollable life of its own. And it's often compared to certain animals. Which one? So we'll start with the obvious one. One of the comparison when we do is with the monkey, and we talk about the monkey mind, okay? And why do we compare our mind to a monkey? Well, because a monkey is usually cheeky, it won't listen, it does its own things, okay? So we can use that analogy of a monkey going from one branch to another branch, okay, and without any logic, and just because it fancy doing that. So in the same way, our mind can be very restless and going from one idea to the next. So it'd be happy one moment, worried the next, and then happy again, and then sad the next. And basically, with mindfulness, what we're learning is we're learning to tame that monkey and teach him to just sit down at the bottom of the tree and relax instead of jumping around all of a sudden. Another animal that our mind is usually quite often compared to is an elephant, okay? It's because of the uncontrollable image that we have in an elephant when it's charging. Nothing can stop an elephant charging. The strength that the animal have is so powerful, very difficult to tame, to control. So our mind has that side, when it's charging, when it's triggered by something very strong, so difficult to control him. But if we think of elephants that have been tamed and trained no longer in the wild, that are being used to work, they can use their strength to do lots of good things and lots of helpful things. So if we control our mind, even though it has that power and that strength to do what it wants, it's actually, we can control it and use it wisely. And another animal that we can compare our mind to, another side of our mind, apart from the cheekiness and the wildness and the power and the unstoppable, is the hippo. So the hippo is, sluggish. It's, difficult to move, and it hasn't got a lot of energy. It's really slow. It's lazy, it's sleepy. And our mind can be like that sometimes as well. It can be just, can't be bothered to do anything, and everything seems boring and fed up. And we can have those moods, we can have those mind. And again, we can learn to control it and change it and energize it if we understand how it works. So, how do we do that? Well, it's the idea of how do we control our mind to do what we want it to do. Well, basically, what we tend to do normally is we tend to fight those mind, okay? We tend to, so if we are lack of energy, we'd still to be going, oh, why am I always like that? And, and we moan and we blame, and then basically we just make it worse. And if we're angry, we tend to follow our anger and then erupt and fight everybody around us, or we can even turn it on ourselves and fight ourselves. So we tend to react against our own emotions. And basically, with mindfulness, what we've got to do is the opposite. And it's not natural to us, is when we are in those moods, what we need to do is, instead of poking it, interfering with it, and telling it it's not good enough and you don't want it, is actually the opposite. We need to learn to give it space, kindness, and not interfere with it, not deal with whatever it is. Just notice it, be curious about it, interested, and patient. Noticing patiently, I'm feeling like a little monkey right now, a little bit crazy, okay? Or I'm feeling like a hippo right now. I just can't be asked to do anything, Or I've had enough. I want to fight. This is not good enough. Why is it always me? So noticing the emotion, labeling it maybe with an animal, okay? And give it space. Just go, as long I'm feeling like this, don't act. Just wait. Wait with it. And you will find that it will pass, or it will reduce. And then your prefrontal cortex, a part of the brain which is not so connected to the emotion, will actually manage to get triggered, and then the right thought will come when you've given it a little bit of space. So how do you do that? So here on the slide it says curiosity, kindness, and that is that curiosity, because last time we talked about kindness already. This time the emphasis is on curiosity, and I want you to think about, for example, David Attenborough, okay, and the way and the attitude he has when he films all those animals. He doesn't get involved and start touching them or holding them or interfering in any way. No, he's in the background with his camera and he's whispering and he's not interfering at all. He's just watching with curiosity, intrigue, fascination. And he's not judging. He's not going, God, look at that animal. It's really stupid. Why does it do that? And he's going, wow, look, there's another way of doing things. And he's just really intrigued, not judging, not hard, just curious and interested. And that's the attitude we need to have. And so how we're going to do that in a meditation. So in this course, they talk about Fofbok, and basically it means feet on the floor and bum on the chair. So what does that mean? It means this is a position you need to have when you meditate, okay? But it's not so much that, it's the fact that in order to create that space between you and the emotion, one method that we use sometimes is the breathing, and we'll do a session more specific on breathing next time. But the most efficient way to do it to start with is just lowering your mind into your body, putting your mind in your body, and especially on the bottom half of your body, because it grounds yourself. It calms you down straight away. If you stay in your head, you're going to get caught in the emotions and in the thoughts and in the blah, 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 and the chatter of your mind. So in order to distance yourself from the chatter of your mind, you put your attention, what we talked about last time, the focus on the part of your lower body, on your feet, on your knees, all those parts, and just disengage with the busyness of your mind. Okay, so this is what we're going to try to do in this meditation. So we'll start, and I will going to try to take myself out so you don't see me, so you don't get confused. Right, so I just drive myself behind there. Here we go. Right. Okay, so I'd like you, so you see the little drawing, okay, that little man there. Just have that type of position. So he's not right to the back of his chair. His back is straight, and his feet are touching the ground, feet flat on the floor, and his hands are on his lap, and he's not too relaxed and it's not too tensed. It's in between. It's called being alert. Okay, and when I'm going to tell you to close your eyes, see, your body will think, oh, it's time to go to sleep, and you don't want that. You don't want to fall asleep. You want to stay alert. This is why the position of that position I've just described, to be with a straight back and feet flat on the floor and alert, will help your body understand that you're not about to sleep. You're closing your eyes, but you are going to meditate instead of sleeping. Okay? But, if it happens that you feel sleepy, never mind. It's better to, it'll take time. It'll take time. Okay, so let's have a go. So, first, just get into position. You might need to nudge a bit and move a bit to sort of find the right position. And then when you're ready, I'd like you to just close your eyes. As you sit here, begin by bringing your attention into your feet. Really tuning into the sensation of your feet as they touch the floor. Noticing what that feels like, which part of the soles of your feet are in contact with the floor, and which one are not, for example. Exploring, investigating this sensation as if you were observing them within yourself from the inside. And just stay with the sensation of your feet flat on the floor for a little longer. Your mind might be wandering and asking, why do I need to think about my feet? And remember, you're moving away from the thoughts of your head and focusing on something near the ground to create a distance between you and your thoughts. So just focus on the sensation of your feet on the ground, and just relax. Feet on the floor. Sensation of my feet on the floor. Now gently move your focus to your calves, and again have that attitude of curiosity, of interest, without moving at all. Can you zoom in your calves? And now move up again. Can you zoom in your knees? Can you differentiate without moving or touching your knees? Can you differentiate between the front of the knee and the back of the knees? Now move to the upper legs. And now letting your awareness expand up to include the sensations of sitting. Tuning in to what it feels like to be in contact with the chair. Again, what does sitting feel like from the inside? How is your weight distributed? Where exactly is the body actually touching the chair? And feel supported by the chair. Feel safe and comfortable and relax. Just drop the weight on the chair. And now, including in your awareness all the sensation in the lower half of your body. Almost as if you are anchored there. Feet on the floor, bum on chair, listening to the lower half of your body, receiving its textures as they change moment to moment. Finally, staying grounded in the lower part of the body. Now, if you're comfortable with it, you might try including the sensation of breathing in your awareness without trying to change your breathing in any way. Just notice what is actually happening. What does it feel like to be sitting on this chair and to breathe and to become aware of the breathing? You might notice the movement in the chest or the belly as you breathe in and out, while still being aware of the weight of your body on the chair and the contact of your feet on the floor. Try to remain with this awareness, the contact of the floor, with your breath going in and out, and enjoying this special moment, this moment of peace just for you, and just relax. And now, when you're ready, you may open your eyes slowly. Okay, right. I hope you enjoyed this meditation. I'm just going to say a few more words about this slide. It's gone a bit funny, I don't know why. Okay, you might, oops, no, I've lost it. Okay, I'm just going to close that. Alright, so to conclude, okay, to explain what we tried to do, it's a bit like this. So I've explained about the animals, okay, and now you want to tame the animals. Another analogy that you can be quite powerful to understand what you're trying to do with your mind is the mind can feel a little bit, you can also compare it to stormy water, to the sea and the wild side of the sea, the storms, and the waves and the wind, and you can see that image of that storm on there with that little boat trying to fight the waves. And that's a lot of the time, especially with negative emotions, how we feel that life is happening to us, and they're in the form of the big waves, and those thoughts in our head can be quite overwhelming, and we're in that little boat trying to fight everything that's coming to us, and really it's pointless. All it does, it makes us feel drained and misunderstood and lonely and fearful, and it just increases the negativity to start with. So what you want to do, what we're doing with the meditation, is when we're doing this type of meditation of putting our thoughts, some distance between us and our thought, and focusing in the lower part of our body, what we're doing is we're dropping the anchor of attention. Instead of focusing on what's going on ahead, we focus on what's going on in the bottom half of our body. And the top half of our body, the head, again, our heart and everything, is usually with the hand as well. All the top half is usually the busy part. So therefore, when you anchor yourself and you sit down and you stop moving and you focus on the sensation of your lower part of your body, it gives you that space that you need between your emotions and yourself. It gives you that rest that you need, that moment of peace where clarity can arise after the meditation. Okay, so that's the idea. We are trying to put some space between us and the emotions and the trauma that we might be feeling. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the meditation, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.